Good morning, everybody, and welcome to today's workshop. So today we are on the last part of our workshop. While I'm telling you guys about it, I'm just gonna whip through like I usually do. Just wanted to let you guys know that this is part 4 today of our career planning workshop, and I just want to remind you guys that we would like for you all to join us by clicking on the video with the blinking purple border, okay? So if you're watching the video with no blinking border, guys, please join us above or below for the watch party. And remember, iPads have a problem with the watch party, so try to use a computer or phone instead to join us. Makes it easier for you and able for you to join us. Again, I want to thank you all for participating no matter what time it is. You're all great and we appreciate you. And I'm almost there. Give me 2 seconds before I rush through, because we just went through our categories. Oh, we've done quite a bit of this workshop, guys, which is awesome. I forgot we had to break down step 2 into a few steps. So I'm thinking that I've made it past step 3 already, and I have not. So we're speeding up to today. So there's our welcome. Remember, please join us in the purple blinking box this morning. That's where the watch party is at, guys. Again, thanks for participating, as you are all appreciated. And just to remind you all, workshops are happening every Tuesday from 12 to 1, anywhere between 12 to 2 p.m. on Tuesdays, and every Thursday from 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. We also have a YouTube page where we post our videos weekly. So if anybody needs access, please feel free to ask us, your staff, and we can provide access to that page for you. Also, remember to please like our video after watching it. Now, let's get started with a review of last week's workshop. So, all right, guys. So last week we talked about looking into occupations, narrowing down your options, and whether or not your occupation will meet your needs. So my question to you all is, as you can see in front of you, how do I find out more about occupations? You have 2 minutes starting now. Okay, guys, great. You did awesome. So you have to ask the right people, or you might not get the most useful answers. When you're researching occupations, the best people to talk to are, wrong mouse, workers in the occupation, career counselors, or representatives of educational institutions that offer training in the occupation. There are a number of places you can go to get information about occupations. Okay? Now, before we get right into step 4, let's watch a video on 8 steps to successful career planning, just to give you guys a refresher and to prepare you for the remaining steps for today. I'm actually going to minimize that one and go here. We'll do full screen. Great.
My name is Scott Harrison.
Commercial. They play those immediately now, hey? All right. Let's get back to our workshop here. Perfect. Sorry, guys. Sorry. Oh, darn it. Okay. Now, over the last month, everyone, we have discussed the steps of career planning. We talked about step 1, which asks where am I right now? When answering this question, we had to dream a little and ask ourselves, what has made me stop and look at my life, and what have I done before? What do I like to do? What don't I like to do? And what do I want to do? These questions were to help you take a good look at your life. Then we talked about step 2, which asks, what do I need to know? When answering this question, we had to take a deeper look at ourselves and ask, what kinds of things am I good at, and what types of occupations are out there for me? This is where you figure out what occupations may be suited for you. In step 3, the question we were answering was, what are my best choices? This is where we discussed where to find information on different occupations and if the occupation of choice will also support our personal needs. Today, we will be discussing step 4, which asks, what do I need to do now? At this point, you have stopped and looked at your life. You have discovered many things about yourself and the world of work. You have thought about your career choices and made a decision. Now it's time to do some planning on how to reach your goal. Then you can begin to act on your plan. In order to answer the question for step 4, you'll also want to ask yourself some other questions, such as, do I meet the requirements of my chosen occupation, and where do I stand now? Okay. Now, do I meet the requirements of my chosen occupation? Workers in most occupations need to meet 4 types of requirements. These are educational requirements, training requirements, special occupational requirements, and specific job requirements. I'm gonna just push the screen back. Just a little. Kind of trying to clear up this glare a smidge, but can't have everything perfectly, right? Okay. So those are the 4 types of requirements you want to look at. So find out the requirements for your chosen occupation, then you will be ready to plan your next actions. So some of the questions you would answer to figure this out would be, what education level does my chosen occupation require? So that would fall under educational requirements. So for most occupations under educational requirements, you need a minimum level of education or schooling. Some require a university, college, or other post-secondary education. For others, it may be grade 12. So what education level does the occupation you've chosen require? Next, we'll do training requirements. So for many occupations, you have to take special training or courses even after you meet the educational requirements. This is true even if you go to university. Other examples include the many trades that are available through apprenticeship programs. In order to be qualified to work, tradespeople must take a combination of classroom and on-the-job training. Some companies or businesses offer their own training, such as training for salespeople. So does my chosen occupation require any special training? Yes or no, right? After you answer that, where would you take it? So, question, do I need training? So we're gonna read a story. I'm gonna read you guys the story a little bit about this lady, Sherry. So Sherry did a lot of research into occupations. She worked closely with her career counselor. They looked at occupational profiles and learned about occupational requirements. Finally, Sherry decided to pursue a career in retail sales. She had always had a knack for selling things, had an eye for fashion, and was good with people. She knew she would have to finish high school first, and when she got working, she would have to start at the beginning. Sherry talked to some employers and learned that there are great opportunities for people who are willing to work hard and learn. Some of the companies offer training programs. Sherry also found out that the mall near her home usually had openings in retail. The great advantage was that the mall had a daycare center. That would help her do 2 important things: pursue her occupation and look after her family needs. So that worked out great for her, right? Because the training program where she was going to take, it was good for her to take a training there, but to also have childcare for her child. So that worked out fabulously. Now we move on to special occupational requirements. Even if you have met the general education and training requirements, some occupations may require even more from you. Some occupations require you to have your own tools. Others require you to own and drive a car. Some require a special talent or physical ability. Artists, musicians, and actors all require special talents. Many occupations expect you to pass a physical fitness test and complete a safety training session. Does the occupation that I choose require anything special? Right? So you'll ask yourself that question. Then you'll list all of the requirements under that. Now, specific job requirements. Employers in some occupations may need workers who can meet specific job requirements. Perhaps their employees must be willing to travel, work shifts, be on call at times, wear uniforms, or use safety equipment. You too may have specific work needs. You may, for example, need work that leaves you free in the evenings, work that you can get to by bus, or work that pays you well enough to provide for your family. Look back at the exercises. We will continue talking about the exercises that we had gone through over the last few steps. You haven't done them, but we had just gone through them and I had talked about them. So anything that you need to review, you can just watch the past 4 videos, okay? Now, after you've gone through each section and answered the questions about your occupation, of choice in regards to educational requirements, training requirements, special occupational requirements, and specific job requirements, we are to figure out where we stand. To figure this out, we need to double check whether or not we answered all the above questions with no leftover concerns or worries. So again, do I meet the educational requirements for the occupation that I have chosen? Right? Now, if no, you would look for different resources so that you could get to the yes for that question, right? Now, do I meet the training requirements for my occupation? Yes, would be good, but if no, then you can take a look at the training requirements for your occupation. Make sure you reach out to your career counselor to help you find out what those training requirements are if you haven't been able to find them yourself, and make sure you make a plan to get that training done. Can I meet the special requirements for my occupation? If no, see a career counselor at your nearest Alberta Work Center, right? And then the final question that you would answer after answering all of those other questions, can I meet the specific job requirements for my occupation? So if no, see a career counselor at your nearest Alberta Work Center or here at EPSS is what I forgot to say, right? And even if yes, see a career counselor anyways, just so that they can help you make sure that you're ready for your job. That you're ready for your job and your job search, okay? Step 5, what actions will I take? In order to answer the question for step 5, you'll also want to ask yourself another question. How do I set up an action plan? You've been taking action for each step of your career planning. You've done research, you've discussed your plans with a counselor, and you've talked to people who work in a variety of occupations at this point. Now it's time to set up an action plan for the final steps. An action plan is a way of recording what you need to do to reach your goal. It is also a way of keeping yourself on track. Joe planned to make a big career change. He made an action plan to go back to school so he could work with computers, right? Remember Joe and Feely from the beginning of our career planning workshop series? Right? And Joe wanted to go back into working with computers as he had been working with, one second. Let me just find his story real quick so we can review it. Where are you at, Joe? Here we go. So Joe had been working for the same company for 12 years in the shipping and receiving department, but really didn't want to do that. So that's why he made a career change to looking into working with computers, which he did. So I'm going to show you guys a piece of Joe's action plan. So here's a part of Joe's action plan. This is just a sampling of what he did. Joe took many other actions as he moved toward a new career, right? So on Joe's action plan, we see here that he made an appointment to see a counselor February 17th, okay? Put a star by it when it was done. Attend a career planning workshop on March 2nd, okay? And then check marked when that was done. Do self-assessment exercise, which is always good to have done so that you can kind of figure out what it is you're looking for, right? This whole book is kind of a self-assessment exercise. The whole career planning process is slightly a self-assessment exercise because you are learning about yourself. You are assessing yourself. You're finding out what you need to do. Either way, Joe did this and then he checked it off when he was done. Then Joe contacted colleges and schools to see what programs were available, March 16th. Okay, so those are all the things that Joe planned to do to make sure that he was able to reach his goals. All right, so now when it comes to making your action plan, Now, when it comes to making your action plan, think of what things you must do to reach your goal. Make a list. And here are some things that you should consider when making that list. Do you need to meet with a career counselor? Step 1. You all have a career counselor, guys. You should be coming to meet with us, especially if you're looking for a job. We can help you make that action plan, make the steps that we need to make to help you get a job. A lot of you guys are working with me right now, and you know that every time I leave the meeting, I'm usually setting you guys up with tasks on things that I expect you to do so that it can help get you a job, right? I'm not doing things to just give you assignments to do. Homework sucks, nobody likes homework, but you guys are here to look for a job. So usually the assignments that I give is, please make sure that you're looking for a job daily. Please take a look on the sites, right? Make an action plan with your career counselor on what you need to do to get where you need to go. Do you have to get more information? Do you need to find out what schools offer the training you want? Do you have to discuss things with your family? Do you need to look over your finances? Can you even afford to do training if you were to do it? Do you have to leave your current job? Write down every task that you must do, even if it seems minor. Give yourself a deadline for each item and check it off once it's done. If you change your plan, write down the changes. Changes happen, and that's A-okay. Wow. It's going to be a short one today, guys. Stick with your plan, dealing with the problems. At this point, you would have done a lot of work to decide on an occupation. However, when you least expect them, problems can make it hard for you to reach your goal. Possible problems include your child getting sick, your car breaking down, or the bus route changing, which is a problem for all of you guys right now, and money problems. The good thing about that, guys, is for each problem, there is usually more than one possible solution, okay? So we're gonna do a little bit of a case study on that right now. So here's an example of 2 possible solutions for one of the problems I just mentioned, okay? So here are the 2 solutions for this problem over here on the left. Okay, so the problem is that you have an appointment to meet your career counselor, but your child gets sick. So a couple of solutions are to phone the counselor, make another appointment, or ask a friend to babysit your child. But I would like the 3rd solution to come from you guys. So tell me, guys, what would another solution be to solving this problem? You have 2 minutes starting now. All right, guys, thank you for sharing. So a third solution could be any one of the responses that you guys posted for one. It could also be ask the counselor if it would be okay for you to bring the child to the appointment. Then you don't have to miss the appointment at all, and you can do exactly what it is you need to do, unless it's going to be too distracting for you. But there's a lot of times we're here at EPSS, guys. We've had a lot of parents, especially with our single parents program. A lot of our parents had to come in with their kids. So, you know, when it comes to a career counselor, we're actually quite flexible. And if you're, this is if your child gets sick. So that's a little bit of a different situation. My bad, I reread that. Unfortunately, nowadays, due to COVID, you would definitely have to leave your child at home, right? So there's phone a counselor, make another appointment, ask a friend to babysit your child. Unfortunately, you cannot put the child in daycare due to them being sick, right? So usually that would be a solution, but not that chance. But you can still add it to the list as a solution for regular times. You could also ask a family member to come by and watch your sick kid, right? There's a couple of solutions. So there's always there may be one problem that you have, but always look to try to solve your problem and figure out what you need to do to make sure that you are successful in whatever it is you're planning for yourself. Okay? Perfect. We are almost done, guys. So here we go. Plan ahead. Don't let problems keep you from reaching your occupational goal. For each action in your plan, write down any possible problems. Then think about how you're going to get around the problems. Write down your possible solutions. For every problem that you list, there should be at least one solution. At least. So try to be as specific as you can. The more precisely you can describe the problem, the easier it will be to find a solution. By planning your solutions in advance, you'll find it much easier to solve problems if they do come up. Solving problems quickly will help you to keep working on your occupational goal. Okay? So just make a plan, guys. That's the best way to go about it. They pretty much made it and put it point blank here. Make a plan so that you will be able to solve the problem that you're in. For every problem, there is a solution, right? You kind of just gotta look at the negative and say, okay, how can I fix this? Instead of looking at you gotta look at the positive and say, hey, how can I fix this? What are the multiple ways I can fix this? Or you can be a negative Nancy and look at, oh, the world is ending. I don't know how to fix anything or do anything. I don't know what I'm gonna do. Nothing is gonna fix itself that way. If you throw your hands up and give up before even trying, nothing will change for you. Nothing will happen, right? So a big thing again for you guys has been the change of the bus routes. Guys, bus training, bus training, bus training. Ride the bus all the way around town until you get used to it, just like you had the first time when you started taking the bus yourselves, right? Things change, changes come, but you know what? At the end of the day, we can always figure it out. Remember the 5 steps. You've just used the 5 steps of decision making to help you look at some options and choose an occupation, so to speak. Once you finish your action plan and you really get going, you will be well on your way toward creating a new career direction. As you go through life, you will need to make many other important decisions. Use the 5 steps of decision making to help you look at your options and make a decision. Keep learning. We keep learning as long as we are alive. As children, we learned how to walk and talk. We learned to tie our shoes. As adults, we learned how to prepare food or drive a car. We learned to do the work we are now doing. There are many reasons to learn. As we look at pursuing a new occupation, we will have to learn new skills. We may have to learn how to work differently. It's all part of lifelong learning. Even if we aren't actively planning our careers, we are still learning. We are still making decisions and having experiences that enrich and enhance who we are. So just a quick review of the 5 steps. 1, where am I right now? When something happens and changes your life in some way, try to stop and think. Step back a bit and look at your situation. 2, what do I need to know? Find out about the options that are open to you. Think about your needs, your wants, and your abilities. 3, what are my best choices? Go over each possibility and think about it. Choose the option that is best for you. 4, what do I need to do? Plan how you will carry out your decision. 5, what action will I take? Make up your mind, then do it. Okay? So, with that said, I'm not even going to wrap it up, but here is one last video to wrap up our career planning discussion, guys. I hope you enjoy. I hope you've learned everything that you can learn in regards to the 5 steps of career planning. They're pretty straightforward, but if you guys need some help, if there's anybody interested working on the steps step by step, please let us know so that we can help you do that. Okay? Perfect. And let's get started.
Meet students Al and Lexi. Al and Lexi realize there's a big world out there, and upon graduating from high school, they'll be thrust into an abundance of opportunities. But how will they make choices and navigate this new world? Luckily, they have their teachers, counselors, school support staff and partners, parents, and an entire community to guide them through a process that will equip them for whatever path they choose. The process is called academic and career planning. We like to think of the academic and career planning process as a voyage. You, the student, like Al and Lexi, are empowered to create a map for your future. And it all comes with the necessary tools to help: the mirror, the compass, the map, and the vehicle. Who am I? The mirror. What interests me? What am I especially good at? What is my preferred learning style? What makes me different from others? How do I want to be perceived? Answering these questions will help you appreciate what makes you unique. What do I want to do? The compass. There's so many options to explore. What careers would I like and be good at? What industries am I most interested in? What types of jobs will be available in the future? And how much can I expect to earn in different careers? Answering these questions will help you start charting the initial leg of your journey. How do I get there? The map. What courses should I be taking to position me for success? What work or service experiences will give me exposure and teach me the skills I need? What about extracurricular activities? What type of education do I need after high school? What are the admission requirements, and how much will it cost? Having so many choices can seem overwhelming. That is where a map comes in handy. Your personal academic and career plan will guide you through how to answer these questions so that you can chart, monitor, and revise your personal journey as needed. Go. The vehicle. Your own personal voyage is unique to you. Every student has a unique destination and a unique way of getting there. It's time to step into your future. Bon voyage. If you know exactly what you want to do, you may take a fast one-way track to your destination. You will be able to engage in courses, activities, work and service experience, and a post-high school education that directly supports your personal and career goals. If you have some ideas about what you want to do, but don't know for sure, you may choose a more fluid way to navigate. You can make several stops along the way, trying new things to decide what you like and don't like. You can choose courses, learning experiences, and post-high school options that support multiple areas of interest. If you have no idea where you are headed, you can benefit by observing the landscape, making sure you know all options available to you. You'll want to look for experiences and post-high school options that will help you decide on your destination. Just like Al and Lexi, you are in charge of your own voyage, and you have a lot of support. Your teachers and counselors will help you chart and navigate through your voyage, persevere through any storms encountered, and make choices that will leave many doors open for your future. Your parents can help by getting to know what is important to you, helping you prioritize, supporting you as you encounter challenges, and teaching you how to advocate for what you need. The community will help by showing you all the options available to you. Academic and career planning ensure that Al and Lexi were college and career ready. It will help you too. Being college ready is important because most jobs require that you complete some form of education after high school. What that looks like depends on your goals. Being college ready is a lot more than being accepted to a college. It means you have acquired the knowledge, skills, and dispositions needed to complete the degree or credential you set out to earn. It means you know enough about yourself, your goals, and the steps needed to achieve those goals in order to invest wisely in your education after high school. Being career ready is important because it helps you choose the right type of post-high school education for your goals. It allows you to enter the workforce at the time that is right for you. You will have the knowledge, the skills, and dispositions to apply what you have learned, secure and sustain employment, and earn the money you need to support yourself. Al and Lexi may not yet know their destination, and that's okay. Even those students who do will experience change along the way. What's important is that you know how to use your map and the academic and career planning resources available to plan your journey and redirect when you feel you are off course. There are many choices in life, but few as important as planning your future. The person you will become tomorrow will be the result of the choices you make along the way. Academic and career planning. Own your voyage. www.nbexcellence.org/ACP.
All right. Awesome, guys. Well, it's pretty much all I have for you today. So, with that said, thank you for joining us for today's workshop, you guys. We are always happy to have you all participating with us every week. Also, please join us for the workshop discussion on Thursday from 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. For all clients that are either job searching or are working and needing to maintain employment, please check our page daily for any updates on job fairs, upcoming job clubs, employment tips and tricks, and for any other announcements that may come up in which is important to employment. I also want to remind you guys to like our videos after you've watched them. This is the best proof we have of you all having watched the videos we post if you aren't joining us during the watch party. For those of you who have made previous arrangements with your staff about letting us know when you have watched the workshops, please continue to do what is planned for you specifically. Thanks everybody, and have a great day.